Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Loehmer Dairy Virtual Chat. I am Brittany with the Discover Dairy program, and we are so excited that you are joining us today as we get to meet Farmer Ashley and, of course, her adorable adopted calves, Addy, Abigail, Alice, and Missy. Today's chat wouldn't be possible without the generous support of the American Dairy Association Indiana and the Dairy Excellence Foundation. So thank you to both those organizations for making today possible. First, this live chat is part of the Adopt a Cow program. And for anyone that's new to Discover Dairy or Adopt a Cow, it is a free online resource that covers Common Core standards in math, reading, and science, all while talking about dairy concepts in those lessons. If you're interested in accessing those resources, you can go to discoverdairy.com. We'd also love for you to join the Adopt a Cow Fun next year. So if you're interested in joining again, or you're brand new to the program and want to join the fun, registration actually opens this Sunday, May 1st. So if you would like to either head to discoverdairy.com/adopt, ADOPT, now, you can fill out a short form that will get you on the list to get a notification when registration is open. Or you can wait until May 1st, and on May 1st, that same website, which is discoverdairy.com/adopt, will be open with that registration form for you to sign up for next year. Please feel free to join us. We're excited to have you. The program will start in October of 2022. Next, as everyone continues to join us live today, you'll see that that chat feature is enabled. So please feel free to keep using that chat, comment, ask questions throughout the chat. Please just make sure we're keeping in mind that we're keeping all of our comments and questions related to our chat and school appropriate. We are excited to hear your questions, and I know Farmer Ashley is excited to hear them and answer them as well. And before we tune over to Farmer Ashley, I'm going to see who's joining us today. So let's take a look at who is on the chat. So let's see. First, bright and early in the morning was Mrs. Riley's first grade class in Mishawaka, Indiana. So hello, good morning, first graders. We're so happy to have you on today. We have a third grade in North Liberty. Good morning, everybody. We've got Russiaville, Miss Taylor's second grade class. Hello, good morning. Fourth graders from Miss Johnson's class. We've got a Head Start school in Warsaw, a first grade class in LaPorte, Indiana. We've got from Colton, Mrs. Hemmerling, second grade, Fishers. Hello, good morning. And Miss Hunt's fourth grade class as well, and a homeschool group. So welcome everybody. I know there's more on here. So welcome to anyone that didn't give us a, let us know in the chat, but go ahead and you can still let us know. We'd love to see where you're from. And for anybody that's joining us on replay, please feel free to comment in the comment section of the video and letting us know you're watching us on replay, and give us a shout out on where you're joining us from. We'd love to know. All right, everybody. So with that, while we're excited for you to use that chat, please continue using that. Go ahead and put your comments and questions in there throughout the tour. This is live, so we are excited to answer those questions live as you have them. And we're going to do that with Farmer Ashley. So I am pleased to introduce you to Farmer Ashley from Monterey, Indiana. Hey, Farmer Ashley, how are you doing today?
Hi, everybody. I'm doing great.
Awesome. We are so excited to be here with you today, Farmer Ashley. So I will let you introduce yourself and take it away.
Hey, so first of all, I'm so excited. There are so many cities around Indiana, and then I know all over the US, there's classrooms all over joining us. So special shout out to Culver community. If you're watching, that's where my son goes. So I just wanted to say hi, and behind me are your adorable calves. But first, I was just gonna give you a quick intro of our farm. My dad started our farm in 1983 with only 36 cows. And since then, we have grown to 1,800 milking cows. And I actually used to be a teacher myself, so this is a special program for me also. I was a high school Spanish teacher, and in 2016 came back to the dairy to carry on the family business. And so I'm doing what I love, and just very excited to show you a small part of our farm today. And so go ahead and ask any questions that you may have. Hopefully I'll be able to answer them. So behind me, if you can see where the calf huts are, that's where your calves used to be. When they were first born, you've got some adorable pictures of them in the calf huts. And then you can see on pasture, there's some cows enjoying the pasture in the grassy area. So your calves actually live on pasture now, but just for today, so we can do this special video, we brought them into the calf barn to get up close and personal with them. So they are about 500 pounds now. So they are, they're growing really big, 500 to 525. And they're about the height of, I don't know, maybe a third grader, 4 feet tall.
Wow.
So yeah, they are busy growing and very, very loving, and not sure if I can get super close to them because they've been on pasture for the past 2 months, but we will be able to meet them here in a little bit.
Awesome. Oh, Farmer Ashley, I love how your farm started and how you guys just started with a couple of cows, and then over time you've been able to grow and take care of more and more cows. And I'd be curious, you've grown really big. How many employees do you have on the farm to help care for all those cows and the land?
We have roughly 20 employees,
Wow.
including my dad and I. And so many Hispanic speaking. So I'm able to use my Spanish skills with our employees. And so I love that aspect of it also.
Yeah. Oh, that's really cool. So that's that's potentially 20 different families that you get to support through, having your farm, which is a really great way of supporting the community. And we absolutely love that. So very, very cool. I love the history of your farm and getting to, of course, getting to see our girls here. So as we are jumping into to our adopted calves, I know this is the whole reason we're here, the stars of the show, to get to meet them. So if you want to go ahead so you said about how much they weigh and how big they are. Do we want to just point out each one and just remind us of who they are? If you know anything about the personalities or their moms or anything like that, feel free to go ahead and talk about that.
So sure, thanks. So if anybody adopted, Missy is our most shy. So I was going to go to her first, 247 over by the wall.
Yep.
So she is a little shyer than the others in the bunch. She's the one towards the back here.
She's trying to hide right now.
Yeah. Well, I could show you another one. Let's see. Addy is 249.
Yeah.
Well, there's Alice.
They're going to start running.
Yeah. So they're not super used to people interaction. Of course, we take care of them, but they're not like, we don't pet them daily.
Right.
So they're just out on pasture. So that's why they're a little skittish.
Right.
But we might be able to get closer to them.
And that's, they're herd animals though, right? They will collect and stay with each other, and that's the pretty cool part, that that's how you want a cow to be, right? You want them to be herding together, sticking together. You have ways as a farmer to care for them if you need to, right? Like you can do headlocks, so you can bring them into a smaller barn, but in general they do pretty good hanging out on their own.
So I can show you this blue thing is their water tank, and so we clean it a few times every week with this brush here. So they like to keep it nice and clean. Yeah. And 2 different pens can share it.
How much water do they drink a day at their age? Do you have any idea?
I would say 10 to 12 gallons, maybe.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. They're getting big, so I guess.
Yes. A normal milk cow would drink more like 50 to 60 gallons. That's how you get your milk. So
wow.
Yeah. So here they are walking back by. They're doing a parade for us.
Oh.
I thought maybe I could get Alice.
I was gonna say Alice is the mostly white one, right? She's got more white than the rest of them.
Yep. She has been the most photogenic. So she's been the easiest one to get pictures of throughout this whole program. So I thought for sure maybe she would let us. get up close and personal to her, but
They're just having fun romping around right now.
yeah, they are. They're grooming, they're looking around, and yep, they're used to being out on pasture. So they're wondering why they're back in the barn.
Right. They graduated from here already. They're
Yes.
a little confused, but we appreciate you bringing
Yep.
them in for our chat today so we can get to see them a
Yeah,
little bit closer.
no
So they're
problem.
really, they're growing strong. We got to see them a little bit. Maybe if we check out their feed, I know we talked a little bit
Okay,
about what they drink, but do you want to talk about what
sure.
they eat and talk about that a little bit?
Sure, I can show you their calf barn. So this is our calf barn. They come in here when they are 2 months old and then leave when they are about 4 months old. And we can just go ahead and open this gate here.
Perfect. Looks like a nice big open area for them to hang
Yes, it
to
is.
live.
Yeah, this is our feed alley, and this first group over here, these are like the kindergartners. So they come in here. This is their first taste of getting to be in a group, like a classroom setting together. So there are 2-month-olds, and right now they are eating a mixture of alfalfa hay, which this is just like a special grass. It has a lot of protein, and we can make it here locally in Indiana. And also, they are on grain. So they have a yummy mixture of corn and grain that a nutritionist pretty much selects for them. So they have like a dietitian for them so that they can grow as strong as possible. And so they are in groups of 10 to 12, and they continue to go from, it's basically like a classroom from kindergarten to first grade to second grade, and then on over. So there's little groups in the whole length of the barn. And then on this side, they are on a different type of food. It's called a corn silage. So this is like the whole stalk of the corn mixed with minerals, and there's some alfalfa in there. And they start to eat this. This is like what a normal milk cow would eat. So that's kind of like prepping their body to eat what a normal milk cow would eat.
Right.
So you can see our employees are actually moving some of them out today. Friday is our moving day. And so the ones clear at the end are getting ready to go out on pasture.
Oh, very
just
cool.
Just like our calves are on pasture right now.
Oh, that is really neat. So Fridays are like graduation day for your calves. That's cool.
Yep, every Friday. And so you'll also notice in this barn, we can shut the curtains in the back for the winter just to keep the coldness off of them. And there's fans up at the top for the summer. That keeps them nice and cool when it's really hot and they need some air conditioning.
And the barn looks like it's got nice airflow for the summertime. And then, of course, you can close it all up like you just said for the winter. So it stays nice and warm.
Yeah, very comfortable. Also, if you've noticed, when we were with our calves, they are bedding in sawdust. It's kind of like a thicker sawdust. This is mostly for like the summer. It keeps them dry. It's nice and comfortable. It's changed every other day, so it stays really nice and clean. In the winter, we put sawdust down, and we also put straw on top of it. So it's kind of like a blanket.
That's pretty cool. And I would think so straw is probably a little bit warmer, right? And it lets them have some warmer. That's really neat. Yes. Now, does a cow's fur or hide, does it get thicker in the winter time too? Like, do they naturally prepare for winter?
Yeah, that's a good question. So it does get thicker in the winter, and then around this time, or probably in May, they start to shed a little bit. So when they shake off, kind of like a dog or a cat would shed. So it's pretty much the same concept. It's natural for them to grow more hair in the winter and then shed it in the early spring.
In Cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. We had a question. A couple folks have just asked in general about the feed and their eating. How do cows eat? And someone actually knows that they don't have top teeth in the on the front of their mouth. So they were just wondering, how do they eat without those teeth? Maybe explain that a little bit for those who don't know.
Okay, well, they have really strong jaws and really strong tongues, and they can mash it up. And the top, where there's no teeth, that's still really strong for them to mash their food. So they eat it. And I didn't know if anybody else knows this, but cows have 4 stomachs. And so sometimes if you see a cow just kind of resting, but they're still chewing. They're not really chewing gum. They're chewing on their cud. So this is just kind of like regurgitated food, and then they goes down to another stomach. And so yeah, we don't have that when we eat. It's
Right.
just there. But a cow, that's just what they do.
That's pretty cool. So their cud, they chew it, it goes down, they bring it back up, chew it, goes down again, and it keeps going until it's ready to either be good for nutrition, goes out the other end, or as they get older, that's where they get all their nutrition for the milk. Is that correct, Farmer Ashley?
Exactly. Yep.
Very
Yep.
cool.
And then the food we design is special for when they're young, for their growth, so that they can be big and strong and they're not malnourished. They have exactly what they need. And then when they are milk cows, all that nutrition goes into milk. So we special formulate nutrition to make a good glass of milk.
Oh, and that glass of milk sounds pretty darn good right now. I know
That's to me too.
right? Yeah. And of course ice cream. So I'm very thankful you guys take really good care of these cows and feed them the right nutrition so that way we can enjoy our really delicious milk and ice cream, because I would be lost without my ice cream in my life. So
Same here, and my kids.
yeah. So a couple of things that have been coming through. So yeah, if we want to head back to the adopted cows while we answer some questions and hang out with them for a little bit, that would be great.
All right.
We just had someone that just said yay for girl farmers. So we're excited to see that there's I guess sometimes we tend to think that it's always a guy with a pitchfork and overalls, but it's really, I would say, Farmer Ashley, and you can feel free to put your input on this, but there's a lot of women farmers and female farmers out there, and it's no longer pitchforks and overalls. It's technology, it's all kinds of just family input and a farm run. But what's it like for you guys on your farm?
Yeah. Well, exactly. When I first came to this position, I thought, wow, I'm the only lady in this position. And then as I got into more groups and Indiana Dairy, I just started meeting a lot more women. So there's a lot of women in dairy.
That's really cool.
More than you may think.
Yeah, that's really cool. And so it's a career opportunity for absolutely anybody. And it's a pretty good one. It's, it's hard work, I would say, but and I'm sure you would say that too, but rewarding and a lot of fun. So
yes, exactly.
Cool. We had a good question from Miss Hunt. They were just wondering, obviously all these girls are their heifers, so they're girls. Do you ever have any bulls on the farm? Do you keep any of the bulls? What's the career path for the bulls on your farm?
So they're moving now. They want to go with the trailer back to their pen, I think. So yes, we do just keep the females. They're the only ones that produce milk. Our bulls are, right now we only have Angus bulls. So we breed for cross, and then our Angus bulls go to a grower and they grow them up.
Gotcha.
So they're kind of like, so we either have a girl or a beef.
Gotcha.
Right now.
Gotcha. Yeah, and they go on to a different career, right? Like, we get the milk from the dairy cows, from the females, but boys can't produce milk, so then they grow up and live a happy, healthy life on another farm, and until they're ready for be harvested for the next part of the processing for beef. So that's pretty cool. Very nice. Let's see. Oh, this is a good question from Miss Young Green. She was asking, do cows have good eyesight? I don't know that I know that answer. Do you know that answer?
Okay, that's a really good question. And So have you ever kind of like been looking in the dark and it's kind of shadowy and you can't
Yeah.
really see very good and you need a flashlight?
Yeah.
That's kind of how they see. They don't have the best eyesight. So everything is just kind of really dark. I think that's why when they walk, a lot of times they put their nose to the ground so that they can kind of see in front of them a little better.
Right. Interesting.
However, they do have really good peripheral vision, better than us. So we can only see basically like from here and in front of us, but a cow can see pretty much all the way behind her, and just that little part right behind her tail, she can't see. So her
Wow.
peripheral vision is really good, but her actual vision is a little darker than ours.
Gotcha. Interesting. Thank
Yeah.
you for that. That's good to know.
Good question.
That was a good question. We have a lot of good questions coming in. So I'm going to try and go through as many as we can here, Farmer Ashley. These are really good
Awesome.
questions, folks. Someone was asking, how big will they be when they are considered full grown?
A full grown cow, when they're a milk cow, is about 1,600 pounds.
Goodness, 1,600
Yep.
pounds. That's a big animal. And they'll
Yeah.
reach that at like what, 2 years old, 3 years old?
A 2-year-old would still be considered like a heifer after her first, like a first lactation cow. So she would be more like 1,200 to 1,300 pounds.
Okay.
But then when they're a mature cow, they're going to be like 1,600. So a
Uh-huh.
little bit less than a ton,
Gotcha.
but almost a ton.
Right. So similar to humans, like we're technically old enough to have kids by like 18, 20, but we're not quite fully grown, I would say. So we can still get bigger even after we start a family or anything like that. So very similar to the cows. Cool.
Yeah, exactly.
This is it's a cute one. Are cows always black and white? And they were specifically asking about the tails, but I'll shift it just a little bit to ask, are all cows black and white, or are there other colored cows?
That's a good question. So Holsteins, which we have here, are, I'm going to say, I don't know exactly the statistic, but 99% black and white. You can randomly have a red Holstein, which just genetic happens. So that can happen. But Holsteins are pretty much always black and white. There are other breeds like Guernsey, Jersey, Brown Swiss. Those are brown cows, but the ones that we have here are mostly black and white.
Interesting. And I would, those different breeds, to help people understand, they're all still cows, right? They're just, it's kind of like how dogs are all dogs, but you've got a German Shepherd and a Golden Retriever. They're just different breeds. Is that correct?
Exactly. Yep.
Perfect. Awesome. This is a good one from Miss Riley. They're wondering what happens if the tags in their ears fall out. Do you ever put them back in? And maybe just take a step back from that question as well and just explain, what do you use the tags in their ears for?
Okay, so we use the tags in their ears because it would be hard to come up with 1,800 names.
I would say so.
And to write that down and to remember them. And so we have a computer program that helps us with their cow records, health, everything that they've ever had, a vaccine, a sickness, a cow, or like if they've had a calf. Everything is on that program, and it is just much easier to type in a number than to say, oh, Missy, or how's that spelled? Does that have a Y or an I? Or so it's just kind of for ease of management. And so when the tags do fall out, they can get a little crazy with them in their lifetime, and so they do fall out, and we just put them back in. So we would retag them.
Gotcha. And it's pretty much just like a piercing for a human, right? It's a quick clip and off they go.
Yep.
Very cool.
They
awesome.
Hardly even feel it because they get it right at birth like a baby.
Right. Yeah. Very cool. And it sounds like a pretty important tool though. Like you can use it to keep track of them and keep their health records. And it's really important for you as a farmer to have those tags in.
Yes, exactly.
Awesome. Let's see. This is an interesting question, and I'm not sure how we'll answer it, but I'll let you attempt. So they were just wondering, how do cows know when a stomach is full that the food then moves to the next stomach or the next, the next compartment? I'm not sure that if you can answer that. That's a good question.
Well, that's a good question. I would say it's just kind of natural. Like it's just something that naturally happens,
Yeah.
and they have very little control over it, I would say.
Right. Yeah. Just like we don't, we know when we're full, we stop eating. And we know when we're hungry, we start eating. So probably very similar to them. Awesome. Let's see. This is an interesting one. So they're wondering, this is from Miss Johnson. They're wondering, can milk be drank straight from the cow, or what does that process look like? Where does the milk go once it leaves the cow and comes to us?
Okay, that's a good question. I mean, technically, you could drink it straight from the cow. However, it goes through a pasteurization process to make sure there's no bacteria and just to make sure that it's healthy and clean for everybody to drink. So technically you could, but yeah, most people aren't really used to that.
Right.
They need something to take out the bacterias and whatnot. So it's just cleaner to do it that way.
Right. Absolutely. And it's just because it's just the type of product. It's not because, just to help clarify, you guys produce a very clean and healthy product.
Yes.
It's just our bodies aren't necessarily it's just a lot of different bacteria our bodies aren't used to handling. So then when we pasteurize it, it kind of kills that or mixes that up a little bit, and then it was something we can actually consume and produce.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. Awesome.
I'm gonna see if I can get a little close, but you can keep asking questions.
Sure,
I'm just gonna
absolutely.
See if someone's gonna let me here.
Let's see. Another good question. How many gallons of milk does an adult dairy cow produce? Maybe each day. This one was each month. We can multiply it by 30.
Let's see. I know how many pounds per month.
Okay, we can figure that out then.
Okay, so pounds, or I know how many pounds per day. Pounds per day is about 100.
Okay, so pounds per day, and 1 gallon is about 8.8 pounds. Does that sound correct?
I believe so. Yep.
So that's about 11.36 gallons, and then we'll multiply that by 30. 340 gallons a month. One cow produces. That's incredible. Oh my goodness. So that's a lot of milk. Do you know, obviously, the milk is picked up like we discussed, it gets pasteurized. Do you know where the milk goes? Do you know what grocery stores or maybe like a product line that it goes to? I was just curious if you happen to know brands.
Well, our particular milk goes straight to Walmart in Fort Wayne. So here in Indiana, if you drink, or maybe Ohio area too, if you drink milk from Walmart, it could potentially be our milk.
Oh, very cool. All right.
Yeah. And Walmart only makes chocolate milk and white milk. They're not into ice cream or yogurt. So right now it's just fluid milk.
Interesting. So, yeah. All right. So if they head over to that Walmart, they could be drinking milk from our adopted cows' moms, which would be pretty cool. Awesome. Thank you for sharing that. That's a neat little tidbit. So we talked about how much an adult cow weighs. We said between 1,200 and 1,600 pounds. That was one question. So a couple of questions just about the mind of a cow. Someone was asking, do they have good memory and are they smart? Do you want to just talk about, maybe that kind of personality with a cow?
Yeah, so I think they have a really good memory because I think if they got scared of something before, they're going to be scared of that again and again and again. Or if something makes them happy, they're going to remember that and it'll be a happy memory for them. So I do think they have a good memory. Yes.
Yeah. So I would say, if there was something traumatic, they would remember. And so clearly, they're pretty calm around you. And like we said, they're just not super socialized with people normally, but they're not scared of you. They're hanging out with you. And so clearly they've been really well taken care of all their life, which is really awesome.
Yes.
Very cool. Awesome. Well, Farmer Ashley, we have had really good questions coming in. I have one more from Miss Taylor, and then we'll wrap up with our final question. So this one is, so from Miss Taylor, she's asking, how many calves do you have on the dairy, each month and maybe each year? Do you have any idea?
Okay, so each month calves, Holstein heifers that we keep in, and also the Angus that we sell, we'll have roughly 150 to 200
Oh my goodness.
per month. So times by 12.
Times by
So
12. Yeah.
yeah, that's how many.
Oh my gosh. But
1,200.
so that means you've got a lot of cows on your farm, because cows only, I think you talked about it a little bit, that cows gestation period is only 9 months. So they really only have one calf a year. So that's just
Yep.
that many different cows having a calf, which is
Yes.
a lot to take care of.
Yep. So there's a lot of babies every day. There's at least 2 to 5 babies every day.
Aw. No, I
So
bet
yeah,
they're
they're
just
hugging.
adorable. Aw, look at them.
Yep.
They're hanging out. Oh, Farmer Ashley, this has been so much fun. Thank you so much.
Thank
To
you
wrap
so
up,
much.
yeah, wrap up today, I would love to just kind of ask a personal question for you, and that is,
Sure.
what is your why? Why have you chosen to be a dairy farmer? You know, your whole family is involved in this. You've got 2 kids and one on the way, which is exciting. What's your why to choosing this as your career and your lifestyle?
Well, I just love animals for one. Another thing is I like to educate people in the
Mhm.
community or students just like you where milk comes from and the activities on a farm. And so that really brings me a lot of joy. Also,
Yeah.
I love bringing my young children here to the farm, and I just love how they're going to grow up with this farming lifestyle. And so
Yeah.
that's what I've chosen for me and for them.
Awesome. Oh,
Yeah.
Farmer Ashley, we have loved this, and I absolutely love your why. Like we talked about earlier, I would be lost without dairy products. So we are eternally thankful and grateful to you that you have chosen this life as your career, and it's hard work. It takes a lot of dedication. You've got a lot of cows to take care of for sure, but we are so thankful for that and letting us be very positive and reassured that we know our products coming from your farm are going to be healthy and safe for us to consume. And clearly the cows are well taken care of. So, and the grass looks green, and I know they enjoy the pasture, and you guys raise crops. So I know you guys are being great stewards of the land as well, and just really being good contributors to the community. So just all around, thank you for being great farmers and great contributors to your community. We absolutely appreciate it. And of course, thank you for being part of this program this year. We've had a lot of fun getting to adopt your calves, and look at them. They're all just hanging out with us today, but they've been really wonderful to get to know. And I can't believe they're 500 pounds when they started,
Yeah.
like maybe not even 100 pounds, which is crazy to think they've grown that quickly. But it's been a lot of fun. So thank you, Farmer Ashley. Is there anything that you'd like to say before we tune off today?
Just thank you so much, Brittany, for all you've done for this program. I've had a really fun time with this. This is my first year, but I'm planning to do it again. So for classrooms out there, hopefully you'll continue to sign up because it has been really fun for me. And hopefully it's been fun and learning for all of you guys too.
Awesome. Yes. Thank you, Farmer Ashley. This has been great. We look forward to having you in the program again next year, and with new baby calves that are starting up again. And thank you to all of you who joined the program and got to adopt one of these calves. We look forward to having you in the program next year. Remember, registration opens this Sunday, and we'll start the program in October of 2022 for next school year. It's been great hanging out with you guys today, and we look forward to seeing you next year. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.